Everybody, this is Jennifer, and I'm here with a new little lesson about working in the round. But we've already done a working in the round lesson where we chained 2, and then we did, I think, 10 stitches in that second chain from the hook, and then we worked out from that. It was that hat pattern we did. Well, this is a different kind of this is working in the round to make something like a neck warmer or like a top-down sweater, where you may start with a chain first, and then you're going to connect both ends of the chain together and then work around that chain, so you'll have like a tube. Most of those patterns will say to chain a certain number, and then it will tell you to slip stitch into the first chain, connecting them, but then it will say be careful not to twist your chain. And so we're going to work on that today. What does that mean? How do you keep it from twisting? And so the first thing I would say is you need to make sure that you are proficient enough with chaining to not have a chain that twists by itself. And what I mean is, if you can do a chain that's consistently straight, and I will show you. I think I have a hook that's a little too small, so let me swap that out for a different one. Oh, I'm only finding little ones. Okay. I'll swap it out for this one. Okay, so what I mean by that, if you're consistently keeping your chain, like with your thumb or some other way, keeping it from turning too much while you're chaining, you're probably going to have a straight chain, like this. Okay, let's see if I can twist it for us. Let's say, so I've been holding it like this, I think, while I was chaining. Yeah? Well, let's say it gets moved, and now it's like this. And I'll turn it like that for a little while. It's a little, I mean, I can still hold it straight. But if you remember back to when you were first learning, and let's say you don't hold on to it at all, and you're just, oh man, that's hard for me not to do, or hard for me to just not hold it. And you're letting it, maybe it's twisting all the way around, and you held it up and it just looked terrible. Yeah, you need to be good enough that your chains are straight all by themselves. And once you get there, then it's very easy to join that chain so that it's not twisted. So I'm going to do a straight chain of, let's do 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And now I need to join where I'm at now to my first chain back here. How do I do that without twisting it? Because if you twist it, your whole piece will be twisted. It's the same with knitting. When you're joining in knitting, you have to make sure that your cast on row is straight. But I follow it down with my finger. I go, yep, that's the chain is straight. So then what I do is careful not to twist it. I bring this end up like this, and I will join like that, so that I can work around my chain and do whatever the pattern says, whatever stitch I'm supposed to be working in here, and then it will be straight. So there's really not much of a trick to it. I think I kind of spun it around there, but You know, and some people want to work into the back bumps of the stitch. Whichever way you do it, make sure it's straight that way before you begin to work. And like I said, if you can't easily with your finger make sure they're all straight because it's wanting to twist up on you, then you need to practice your chains a bit more. You just follow it down with your finger. Make sure that it's straight. And it's not, you don't have any twists like this. Okay. And then bring it over and connect them. And from there, once you've joined it and you started around, it's pretty easy to double check and make sure. Again, but really only if you have a straight chain to begin with. So the biggest trick is your chains have to be, you have to be proficient enough to have a good straight chain. But I've heard that question come up a lot. What does that mean? Not to twist your chain. What happens if you twist it? And how, how do you prevent it from twisting? Once you've joined it, it's not going to twist. I mean, you can twist it on accident, but it's not likely to happen once you've joined. Because to do that, I'm going to do a small piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am out of the habit of working with these Susan Bates hooks. So, okay, so I'm going to join it. Make sure it's straight. And I'm going to join into here. Get my tail out of the way. Just join it with a slip stitch. Usually then, depending on what stitch I'm using, I will do, like, let's say I'm half doubling. I'll do a half double in the same stitch. And work around. And I'll show you what I mean by, if you, like, that from here, you still could twist it and have a problem, but it's pretty easy to tell which way it needs to go. I'm coming up to where I joined. Okay, from here, then you would just work. It depends. If your pattern says you're going to be joining and then do a chain 1 and then continue with your half double crochets, then that's what you would do. Typically, though, you'll just work in a spiral and work continuous rounds. And so then you would just keep working. Okay, but if you could end up doing this, where now you're working into the other side of that chain. Now it's twisted. So if you're not paying attention, you could twist it. And if you start working in this side now, you're going to have a permanent twist that you won't be able to get out. So you have to pay attention once you come around to this spot to know what to do. I have a little trick because sometimes you might end up with a little gap. Depending on what you've got going on. So sometimes I will work into the stitch I just worked and then into the new one and do like a half double crochet 2 together. That doesn't that doesn't decrease a stitch because you worked into the stitch you were already in. And so it just fills in any gaps there, and then you can just keep working around, and it's not twisted. And that's really the only time where you might goof and flip it. From there on, it's just not going to happen. I should do a project sometime where we do working in the round like this, where we start with a longer chain. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions on a crochet along or something like that we could do. Or let me know if you have any questions or anything else. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Have a good day.